wading boots. They go on your feet. That's it. That's the end of the video. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a huge fly fisherman. Welcome back to another episode of Huge Fly Fisherman. Today's video is going to be about wading boots and fishing footwear. First, I'm going to talk about some general things you should know, then I'll go over different types of wading boots, and then I'll tell you about my opinions and what I wear on my feetsies when I'm fishing. I'm going to be specific and talk about certain brands, and if you've seen my videos before, then you know I won't hold back. Forgot to open my beer. Okay, let's start with some general info. 1. Wading boots are not waterproof. Water gets inside of them, and that's fine. 2. Most wading boots are sized to accommodate the stocking feet of a pair of waders. If you wear a size 26 shoe, you buy a pair of size 26 wading boots. Or not, because they don't make them that big. 3. You don't have to wear wading boots. More on that later. Now let's talk about different types of wading boots. On one end of the spectrum, you have super lightweight boots, meant for walking lots of miles, or kilometers if you're Euro nymphing. They're light and flexible, but can be lacking in durability and ankle support. Simms and Orvis have some great boots and shoes in this category. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the work boot style. Simms Freestones used to rule this category until the Patagonia Danners came out. A heavy-duty boot is going to take more abuse and give you more ankle support, but they'll be heavy. Maybe not the best choice for a 10-mile hike, but great for kicking over those stupid rock towers. Those are the two ends of the spectrum, and there's lots in between. Shop around and see what's going to be best for you. But let's not forget about saltwater. If you're walking saltwater flats, there might be sharp coral or bitey crabs or mucky bottom that will suck your flip-flops right off your feet. Saltwater footwear comes in two styles: booties and boots. Booties are good for grass flats and muddy bottom. Boots are good for rock and coral. All right, now let's talk about some different options that you can choose from. First, the soles of the boots. Felt or rubber? If felt soles sound weird, you must be new. Welcome to fly fishing. Felt soles stick to wet rocks real good. That's why they exist. But listen, rubber is the way to go. Felt soles are a vector for invasive species. They're slippery on mud or grass, and snow sticks to them in the winter. Rubber soles have a little bit less grip on rocks, but they are just way more practical. If you feel like you need more grip, you can add studs or cleats to your soles. The metal grabs onto rocks and gives you more traction, but you're not coming into my boat with those things. Studs are advertised as removable, but if you've ever tried to take old studs out of your boots, you know that's a lie. Still on the topic of soles, maybe you've heard of Corkers boots. Corkers are wading boots with interchangeable soles. You can switch from felt to rubber as needed. Full disclosure, I've never worn a pair of Corkers, so I can't give you a first-hand opinion. But what I do know is that I should have picked up the dozens and dozens of lonely Corker soles that I've seen on the side of the river over the years. There's probably a resale market. Also, I should have picked them up because it's trash. Also, I had a friend of mine almost die because he was wearing Corkers. I'll tell that story at the end. So, Corkers suck because the soles fall off. Ask anyone who's ever owned them. Now let's talk about laces. You basically have two choices here: regular old analog boot laces or the BOA system. Here's the deal, they're both gonna break. If you're into gadgety stuff and you wanna think that you're better than your friend, get the BOAs. But broken laces are a lot easier to band-aid than BOAs when you're far from the truck. All right, now let's move on to the fun part of the video where I force my opinions on you. I can already see the comments from some guy in Alabama. I don't need wading boots. I wear my old sneakers and they're just fine. That's why you fly fishermen are so stupid. Think you need all this fancy gear. First of all, thank you, Cletus. I value your opinion, but not really. Secondly, you're right. Old sneakers will work fine if you're tenkara fishing, but wading boots are usually a better choice than your old sneakers. They'll have better traction and they'll last longer. They're made for fishing. Below Cletus's comment, there'll be a comment by some kid from Banner Elk named Zayden saying he just wears Chacos or Keens all the time. Great. Awesome, good for you, no one cares. Keens are perfect if you want a pound of sand in each shoe, and Chacos are actually pretty great fishing footwear if you want to self-amputate some toenails. So what do I wear when I'm fishing? I mostly wear 3 pairs of shoes when I'm out. If I'm in my boat and I know I'm not gonna be wading a lot or at all, I'm wearing flip-flops. Obviously a horrible choice for wading rocky rivers, but that's just it. I'm not wading. I'm sitting in a boat drinking beer. When I need wading boots, I've been wearing these for the past few years, Orvis Pros. After my Winebrenner days, I was a Sims Freestone guy forever. But now I'm on my 2nd pair of these. Why this boot? Well, because they were free. That's it. I'm just being honest. Personally, I think they're ugly as hell, but they are light and they are by far the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. Like, it's not even close. I don't know what makes them so comfy, but I can walk 10 miles in these things, no problem. I've done it a bunch of times. The 3rd pair of shoes that I fish in is a pair of Muck Boots. There are some places where I fish where I don't even get in the water. Muck Boots are great there. Or a tiny little brookie stream, or a bluegill pond. If you need to be waterproof about this deep, Muck Boots are a great choice. It's okay to think outside the box. Remember, there are no rules in fly fishing. And that's where we're gonna end today's Huge Fly Fisherman video. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you learned something or maybe had a little fun while we were at it. I'll be back as soon as I can with another Huge Fly Fisherman video for you. Until then, pick up those Corkers soles that you find on the river and stay huge. All right, so the Corkers that almost killed someone. My buddy Andy was crossing a deep, fast section of river. He's making his way across, and one side of his sole fell off, and that loose sole got wedged in some rocks and stuck. Somehow he loses his balance, comes off his feet. Meanwhile, the swift current pushed him over and pinned him underwater, and he couldn't get back up because it was so fast. So he's underwater, stuck by his Corker sole. Luckily, the Corker sole did what they do, and it came off completely, and he got swept downstream and came up and lived. But yeah, I'm sure that sucked. So that's the story.